Hi there and welcome to this video. We will be addressing a very interesting subject, especially for seasoned professionals or even emerging leaders. And this is the ability to build your confidence very fast and be able to speak up with confidence during meetings at work, because most people, most professionals tend to struggle very much in this area, and largely it is because of glossophobia, or what we refer to as the fear of public speaking. You realize that so many professionals or emerging leaders, they want to confidently speak up more during meetings at work, but for one reason or the other, you realize that speaking up during meetings is very challenging, or it is even more difficult, especially when you have to do so with confidence, because you're not just speaking for the sake of it, but you want to ensure that the ideas, the suggestions, the recommendations that you're giving are being received by the other members in the meeting, and to an extent sometimes even being implemented. So the inability to confidently speak up in meetings, most of the time it shows up by you letting other people to do the talking, and you are on the other end doing the listening, or you're waiting to be asked a question is when you share your thoughts. And sometimes even when you make an effort to speak up, it comes out as though you are more hesitant in what you are saying. And the end result, of course, is not a very good one, because your competence or even your intelligence or your potential as a professional remains hidden. Why? Because there is no one who will ever hear what you have to say. So why don't you just master how to build confidence and bring out your ideas, voice out your opinions, so that the rest can be able to see how intelligent you are, your competency level, and your potential even to be seen good for leadership positions within the organization. So in this video, I will be sharing with you 5 ways into which you can be able to confidently speak up. And these strategies or these ways are very simple and easy to implement. So as much as you have gone through this video, I encourage you to start applying these strategies or these ways. And believe you me, in a short while or in a short period, you shall have mastered how to boost your confidence. Now, the first way for you to be able to boost your confidence very fast and speak up during meetings at work is to prime your mind. What do I mean by priming your mind? It is all about preparation. How well do you prepare for meetings? Because most of the time, whenever there is a meeting, you will be informed beforehand that there is this meeting coming up in an hour's time, there is this meeting coming up in 2 days' time, or sometimes you already know that every Monday in the morning there is a departmental briefing, or every Friday in the evening there is a departmental briefing. So how effectively do you prepare? Because preparation is what makes your mind to be tuned to what is coming up. And you realize that with preparation comes definitely clarity and confidence. These are important ingredients that you need as a professional, you need as an emerging leader to be mentally able to speak with confidence. You can imagine if naturally you're not a very confident person, and then you couple that with lack of preparation, believe you me, during the meeting you will feel so blank, and you may end up not saying anything or even agreeing with what your colleagues are saying. So preparation is everything. Prime your mind. Understand the purpose of the meeting. Why is this meeting taking place in the first place? What is the agenda? What are we going to be discussing? Is it supposed to brainstorm a new idea, or are we supposed to be able to make some decisions during the meeting? Is the meeting meant for just listening to updates? What is the meeting all about? And this means that you need to go back and find out the agenda of the meeting. Sometimes if the agenda is not very clear, you may want to cross-check the invitation that you received for the meeting. Sometimes it is highlighted in the email invitation. Or you may even want to consider contacting the meeting organizer so that you have a clear picture of what this meeting is all about. Once you understand the purpose of the meeting, as part of preparation and just preparing your mind to be able to engage in the conversation, you may consider even noting down some key points that you would want to either seek clarity on or contribute as your opinion or your idea as far as the subject of discussion is concerned. So by preparing your mind beforehand, definitely you will gain confidence and clarity to be able to be mentally prepared to engage into the conversation. Strategy number 2 that comes in handy when it comes to building your confidence very fast and being able to speak up during meetings is to speak up early. Yes. As soon as the meeting begins or starts, work towards being among the first few people in the meeting that are engaging, that are contributing, that are sharing their thoughts, that are asking questions, that are seeking clarity. Why is it important to speak early during the meeting? Because you realize that the earlier you are involved, the earlier you involve yourself in the conversation, the more present you will feel in the meeting. So speaking earlier is all about you engaging yourself in small chit-chats. Get to say hi to your colleagues. Yes, it can be a departmental meeting, and perhaps from morning you had not really engaged in a conversation with your colleagues. So you'd be like, hi, so-and-so, how is your day? How is your morning so far? Is everything okay? You really not so much getting so much into details, but that small talk, that chit-chat is helping you to work on your nerves or to manage your anxiety. Because again, the longer you wait before you speak up, the more the stress builds up. And as the stress is building up, your mind will keep telling you that you are not safe. And believe you me, what will be running through your mind is, now what are my colleagues thinking about me? Considering I have not said anything, I have not contributed to the ongoing discussion. You don't want to find yourself in that awkward situation, because if you are now asked to say something abruptly, believe you me, your mind will go blank and you will have nothing to say. So the goal is to break that circle by just saying hi to your colleague, get to engage yourself in a kind of casual chit-chat, not really anything deeper. That helps you to build rapport with your colleagues and to familiarize yourself with the environment and definitely be able to engage in a conversation. Another important way that you will be able to build your confidence very fast and speak up during meetings is supporting your colleagues. What do I mean? During meetings, your colleagues are also coming in with ideas, with their thoughts as far as the purpose of the meeting or the agenda of discussion is concerned. So if you find yourself struggling with at what point can I speak up? At what point can my voice also be heard? Just be very deliberate or intentional with supporting the ideas that your colleagues are bringing to the table. Be useful by helping your colleagues to validate their ideas or their thoughts. For example, I know you've had some colleagues during meetings, they just make statements like, I agree with what you have said about XYZ, or I agree with Mary's point on ABC. Really, you may not even want to expound on what that point was all about, but the fact that you have just said, I am in agreement, I concur, I mirror into what the CEO has just said, it shows that you are actively present into the meeting. You have been following through and you are in agreement with what your colleagues are also sharing. Supporting your colleagues' ideas is also a very safe space or a safe way for you to also get yourself talking during meetings. As we come to the end of this video, another important strategy that will help build your confidence and speak up very fast during meetings at work is just ask questions. And when asking questions, you can prepare questions before the meeting. Now that you already have the agenda, you know the purpose of the meeting, you know what we will be discussing, highlight at least 1 or 2 questions that you may want to ask. Could be questions to bring out clarity on something that is not clear to you. Or maybe during the conversation in meeting, there is something that your colleague has said. So you may want to think on the spot very fast and ask questions spontaneously. It simply shows that you are very present in the meeting, you are keen on what is being discussed, and you are following through. That is why you are asking questions to seek clarity. This is always a very great way to get more involved in the ongoing discussion. You may even want to ask your colleague to expand on an idea that they have just shared. Or you may want to pose a question on the pros and cons, or the advantages or disadvantages of the subject of discussion at hand. It also shows your colleagues that this is equally an area of interest to you, and that is why you all need to think about the disadvantages or the advantages of some of the points or the ideas that you're bringing to the table. And lastly, practice, practice, practice. When it comes to mastering confidence and being able to engage in a proper conversation, whether it is during meetings at work, whether you're going to pitch for that business, whether you are engaging a big crowd in a social space or in an informal environment, practice is everything. So you may even want to practice out loud areas that you would want to engage during the meeting. For example, this first agenda or this first point of discussion, what kind of questions would I want to ask? What kind of contributions would I want to make? So practice beforehand, sometimes even the exact words that you would want to use. You'll realize that with practice, you begin to gain your confidence, and before you know it, you are able to hold a proper conversation just as a leader or as a manager that you are. So when it comes to building your confidence and being able to hold proper conversations at work, whether it is with your seniors or it is during meetings, effective communication is key. You are not just speaking, but you are speaking to be heard, for an action to be taken. And that is why I encourage you to consider building yourself professionally with a public speaking and presentation skills course, because this will come in handy for you when it comes to you being able to grab every opportunity available to be seen not only as a confident speaker, but as an employee who stands higher chances of even being promoted to senior leadership positions within the organization. The link below will guide you on how to reach out to us. Join the so many other professionals who have already signed up for the upcoming public speaking or speak with confidence course, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the class. Thank you for watching.